section down below. All right, let me make sure. Boom, boom, boom. Good afternoon, everybody. It is noon here, Central Time. Just making. Oops, here we go. All righty. How is everybody? Monday. So I'll wait for a few people to trickle in and kind of explain why this is actually happening at noon instead of the 9 a.m. Central that we had agreed to. So it's a very good explanation this time outside of going golfing like what happened last week. So I'll wait for a few more people to trickle in real quick, and we're going to jump into our conversation, which, as a reminder, is Facebook ads conversion. So conversion ads. You've been asking about this topic for quite a while. So I wanted to bring it to you. I wanted it for you to actually see it. All right. So I'll wait a couple more seconds, making sure that everybody can see and see what's going on. So let me make sure this is up and running. All right. So boom, boom, boom. Over here, public. Great. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. I don't want to spend too much time with this with the intro, but I had a little emergency this morning that I needed to take care of, but it has been taken care of. So we are back on track. All right, so it looks like everybody can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can't, but it looks like we are off to the races. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to cover Facebook conversion ads. This is something that I am super passionate about. If you go to Facebook conversion ads on YouTube, you're going to see quite a few videos about the topic. And a lot of those are mine because I am super excited about this type of campaign because it really does so much for your business. It has, well, before getting into the actual going into it, let me address any questions that come up very quickly, but also share that going forward, expect us to be live here at 9 a.m. Central without fail. So every Monday I will be going live, and I am making it a very good habit to let you know of the topic ahead of time. This way you can program to your schedule so you can be here. And if there's any questions, please feel free to drop them down below as we go through. This one's going to be action packed, so we're not going to have too much time for what I'm doing right now, which is the dilly-dallying. So here we go. So Facebook conversion ads, what are they? Well, Facebook conversion ads is a type of campaign objective that Facebook gives you the opportunity to run. So there are 11 campaign objectives that Facebook gives you, and they're categorized in many different ways, but the conversion ads are the more sophisticated type of campaigns, but also yield the greatest returns from my opinion. So Facebook conversion ads are designed to do two main things. One is to track your conversions, and two is to go out and replicate those conversions. So yes, Facebook is algorithmically finding common characteristics of the people that actually converted and became either a lead, became a purchase, became something of value to you, so you can go out and replicate that. And you'll see what that means here shortly. So in summary, Facebook conversion ads is designed to help you scale. Facebook conversion ads are a great way for you to take the winners and improve upon the winners with Facebook's help. Now, that's basically what Facebook conversion ads are, but there's something very important to understand. Facebook conversion ads have to do with a website. Whether you have a Squarespace website, a Wix website, a WordPress website, or landing page generators like ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, Lead Pops, any type of landing page generator, it's basically an outside force, an outside website that is optimizing for. So that's something that is often overlooked, where I get questions about Facebook conversion ads, and there's a question about, well, how can I get more lead forms from the Facebook conversion ads? Well, you can't, because that's a different type of campaign. So understand that one thing, that Facebook conversion ads are designed to get more leads, designed to get more product sales, or anything that you deem meaningful from a website perspective. Am I doing a good enough job explaining that? Here we go. One quick second. I forgot to share it somewhere. All right, so just let me know in the comment section down below. I'm doing a good job. I will do a good job on monitoring any questions that come up, but just understand that conversion ads what they are and what they're designed to do. So with that being said, the important question comes up, well, how do I actually use conversion ads? How do I'm sold on the idea. I want to do Facebook conversion ads. I believe you when you say that it is a great way to get more sales, a great way to get more leads, and a great way to do advertising. But how can I actually get that done? Well, there's a 4-step process and it's very simple. So the first thing you have to do is create a Facebook pixel. At this point, if you haven't created a Facebook pixel after me talking about it for a long time, then I'm going to invite you to go ahead and create a Facebook pixel because you can't get around it at this point. If you're going to run a Facebook conversion ad, you need to create that Facebook pixel. So that's step 1. The second step is installing your Facebook pixel. So as a reminder, since we're talking about Facebook conversion ad, that Facebook pixel, i.e. that code that you're going to embed on your website or on your landing page, that becomes extremely significant. And you'll see that here momentarily where we actually go through and create one. So, well, create a custom conversion. So that's the second step, install your Facebook pixel. The third is create a custom conversion. So there's something that you have to create within Facebook, which I'll show you here shortly, that you deem meaningful. So something that you're going to tell Facebook is, hey, I want more people that actually submit their contact information. In other words, that become a lead for me. Or I want more people that actually purchase product X for me. And that's what you're telling Facebook. That's what you're communicating to Facebook. That is your custom conversion. So that's the third thing. And then the fourth item that you have to absolutely do is run a Facebook conversion ad. There's no way around that. So you can do the first 3 steps, but if you don't run the Facebook conversion ad and actually enact that conversion, that custom conversion that you created, then you just wasted your time because you're not going to actually run that campaign and get more clients that way. So just be aware of how that happens. Quick summary: create your Facebook pixel, install your Facebook pixel, create a custom conversion, and then run your conversion campaign. It is really that simple. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. So the first 2 steps, we're not going to necessarily cover, but the last 2 for sure. All right, so let's jump right into it. If there's any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I am doing my absolute best to monitor the live stream over here on Facebook and over here on YouTube. So just let me know if there's anything that comes about. And also, again, another apologies. This was supposed to go out at 9 a.m. Central. We were supposed to do this, and I just had a little family emergency that I needed to take care of. So that's why we're doing it 3 hours later. So my apologies on that. Going forward, we're going to do our best to stay on task. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, so here we go. At this point, you should be seeing my Ads Manager. So let me know if you can see that. I'll wait a couple of seconds and then we'll move forward. So quick reminder, I can see it over here. Quick reminder, create your Facebook pixel, install your Facebook pixel, create your custom conversion, and then run your ad. The one thing that we're not going to do right now is create a Facebook pixel. So that first step we're not going to do, and I'll tell you why, because last week, we did an hour on Facebook pixel. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, we did an hour on Facebook pixels. So if you want to see how to actually do that, and I encourage you to either check that one out or some other videos that I have on the Facebook pixel. They're 8 minutes at most. So if you want some in-depth understanding of the Facebook pixel, then I encourage you to check those out, and I'll link them down below so you can reference them after the live stream is over. So that Facebook pixel is the creation we're not going to actually do, but the second we will do, because I'm going to show you how to go back and find the Facebook pixel, which is installing that Facebook pixel. All right, so here we go. Let's go to, where are we going to go? We are going to go up here. So the Ads Manager, a quick reminder on how to get here. When you log into Facebook from your wherever you're at, all you have to do is go to Facebook, go over here. Where is it? Go to Manage Ads. And there you see your ad accounts. All right. So that's how you go and do that. And this is where we're at this point. So when it comes to getting to this screen, now you have full knowledge. We're going to go to Business Tools. We're going to go to Events Manager. And now you're going to see some pixels. So these pixels, some of them are used. Some of these are test accounts. And this one's actually a test account. So One of the questions that comes up is, where do I actually find my Facebook pixel? How do I actually find it? That's a very important question, especially now that the new interface has taken hold. This is a brand new interface. If it's been a while since you've advertised on Facebook, then you're going to see that this looks completely different. In the past, you used to click over here in your tools, and you would find a specific button that said Facebook pixel, but that's no longer the case. So what we're going to do right now is that second step. So as a reminder, we're not going to go through and create the Facebook pixel. I have other videos on how to do that. Right now, what I'm trying to do is find that Facebook pixel so I can go back and install it in a page that I want to create that custom conversion on. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to add events. And let's see, the franchise agent's pixel, it ends in 7581. So I'm going to remember that. From a new website, install a code manually, and here it is. Here's that base code. The base code is the Facebook pixel. This is super important. This is what's going to drive everything. So now that I have that, I'm going to go and find a page that I want to optimize for. So what conversion means the most to me? So in this example, we're talking about real estate leads. You can do the same concept for sales. You can do the same concept for whatever you want, even landing pages being viewed. You can do anything. But for our purpose, what's important here is getting more leads. So if you are a real estate agent or working with the real estate agent, what's important for you is getting more people giving you their contact information. So this is a very 1-2 step funnel. So a step funnel. This is a 2-step funnel that is very simple to do. Is just a landing page where you give them a bit more information of what you're promising them in exchange for their contact information. And then you have the thank you page. The thank you page is the acknowledgement page or the receipt page if you're selling something. So the only reason that somebody would be at the thank you page would be because they gave you their contact information or they bought something from you. So remember, this is that landing page, and then the thank you page. When they show up here, that means that they actually gave you money. So that is, we're setting up the framework for what we're about to do with the custom conversion. But first, let's not skip ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to go to settings. And regardless if you have Wix, regardless if you have Squarespace, regardless if you have lead pages, whatever you use, there will be an opportunity for you to put a tracking code. So you see right here, I have a tracking code from this particular example. So let me just delete all that real quick and I'll paste it right here. So each one of those softwares that I just mentioned and many, many more will give you directions on how to install your Facebook pixel. So just because you're seeing it on ClickFunnels right here, don't think that this is the only way to do it, because your software, whether that's Squarespace, Wix, lead pages, they all have their own unique way of doing it as well. All right, so I'm gonna leave this right here, and now I'm gonna scroll down. And what I'm doing right now is installing the Facebook pixel. So that's that second step. I'm installing it on the entire funnel, just this funnel right here. So that pixel that I just created, again, that pixel I just installed, I went to settings, I went to the head tracking code, I pasted the code, and then I pressed saved and update. And now it's on the landing page, and now it's on the thank you page. So it's on everything. So notice that is the correct way of installing it on ClickFunnels. So we've taken care of step 2. So as a reminder, all I had to do was go over here to the add the events from the pixel that I want to use, then go from a new website, install code manually, and then copy the code and paste it. Now I'll go back for a quick second. If you have a partner, if you are using Squarespace, if you are using Wix, if you are using WordPress, you can use the partner integration, which is just going to allow you to do this a little bit more simply, a little bit more streamlined. But I understand that not everybody has websites that are partnered with Facebook. So I just went ahead and showed you the manual way. The partnered is very simple. We're not even going to go through it because ClickFunnels is not a partner, but also it's not the best use of our time. So this is how you would find the Facebook pixel code and actually install it. So we've taken care of step 2. Now we need to go to step 3, which is actually creating our custom conversion. And as a reminder, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat box down below. I know that there's a few questions leading up to this live stream on how to actually do this. All right, so Renzo, when creating a Facebook pixel, it prompts me to also create events. Are events in the pixel the same thing, or are events a subcategory to pixels? That's a great question, Renzo. It will prompt you to create an event. I highly encourage you to go ahead and create just a standard event, just so you see how to create it. But to answer your question, yes, it is a subcategory. So think of it as chapters. You have an entire book, which is your pixel, and then you have different chapters within that pixel. And that way you're able to track how many people landed at a certain page of yours. So Renzo, I know that you have a very successful real estate business. So check him out. He's a great real estate agent. So if you're looking for referrals, Renzo is your guy. But anyway, when it comes to the events can be anything that you want. So you see right here, there's a page view event. That's something that is just an act in time, something that actually happened. So you can create subcategories. You can measure anything that you want. That way you can easily glance and see these many people went to my buyer's page. These many people went to my seller's page. These many people went to my contacts. That way you have them categorized to what's meaningful to you. So answer your question, you don't have to create events if you don't want to, but I highly encourage you to do that for the sake of your business. So that's a great question, Renzo. Thanks so much. Benson, best ad for lead generation. So it depends on what you're doing, Benson. If you're looking for a seller lead, then I would say a just sold ad. That would be my go-to. If I was looking for buyer leads, then I would do a new construction lead. So those are the two types of ads, or yeah, that was a question, right? Best ad for lead generation. That's what I would do. Again, buyers, which with new construction, you actually get a good amount of sellers as well, because people that are buying a new home oftentimes do have a home to sell themselves. So it's a second purchase or a third purchase. So that's how I would go about that. All right, so here we go. We didn't create the Facebook pixel, but we already had it. 2, we installed the Facebook pixel. Now we're going to create the custom conversion. So we're going to hit create. We're going to create a custom conversion. All right, so we're going to name the conversion. We're going to call this YouTube live stream. I think it was a buyer conversion. All right, so I'm just going to copy that so I know what it's called. Description, boom. The franchise agent's pixel, which is the pixel that we just installed. Conversion event, you see that you only have the all URL traffic. And now the rules. Here we go. This custom conversion must meet all of the following rules. This is where the important understanding of how to actually create your conversion comes into play, and how a conversion actually happens. So remember, this is a simple 2-step funnel. Most traffic that you're going to send, actually all traffic that you're going to send, is going to land on your landing page. This is, at this point, people landing on your landing page doesn't pay the bills. Doesn't mean that they gave you their contact information. Doesn't mean that you sold anything. However, when they go to the thank you page, that gives you the opportunity to sell something, especially if you're on the lead side, if you're generating leads. If you're doing product sales and this is your receipt page, well, you sold something, so congratulations. But this is where the money is made, at the thank you page. And this is something very important that you need to understand, because we miss it a lot. Oftentimes when I do consults, I see that the conversions are set up, but they're set up to this URL. They're set up to the landing page. That is not the way to do it, because although this is important for you to get more and more traffic to the landing page, but what you actually want is more people to have submitted their contact information. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this URL right here. We're going to go back, and then we're going to go right here. Press enter. Oops. If I can figure that out. Here we go. Awesome. And then you can enter a value if you want. You don't have to create a value, but here's what we just did. We just said, hey, this custom conversion is anybody that lands on this URL. This URL is who we're after. And then you see enter a conversion value. We're going to put 1 just for fun. You do want to put a conversion value if you know your stats. If you know that for every lead that comes in, you make $50. If you know that for every sale, X, Y, and Z happens. Awesome. So we're going to go to create. I didn't go to the one in your custom. Oops, I already have that one. So let's leave that as that. Okay. We'll already have it. So let's do this. This will be fun. So here's how I'll try to cheat. I'm going to try to cheat by doing this, just taking the URL partially. So hopefully Facebook doesn't catch me. And let me see if it'll let me do it. All right, so it let me. All right, so I'm just cheating a little bit, letting that opt-in work for me. Wait. Okay, did I just make that mistake? Oh, look at me. I'm making mistakes. All right, so I made the mistake that I told you not to make the mistake on. So let me go back. I took it from the landing page. This is great. Great. What we're going to do is we're going to create it one more time. And this is the beauty of doing this live. YouTube live stream, real conversion. So you see what mistakes happen and how to correct them. So let me see if Facebook will allow me to create the conversion now. So here's what's happening. It identified that I already had that test conversion. That's okay. So what we ended up doing was I am just taking a partial URL. So the buyer side, so realtor buyer, just taking that partial URL. Oops, here I go making that same mistake. The thank you, I'm just taking that partial URL without including the other part. So chances are I've already created that in the past. So I'm just taking the partial URL because of the conditions that I've created. It contains the following URL. So it'll pick it up even if it says -u. All right, so I'm going to create. Perfect. So it let me. So real conversion done. All right. So now what happens is that now that we've created our custom conversions, what we're going to do is the following. We're going to go over here and we're going to have that fire off. Oops. So we're going to do that. I'm going to have it fire off over here. All right. All right, so fire over here. X out of that. I'm going to open an incognito window, have it fire off there. So what I'm trying to do is manually have it fire. All right, so now that we've done that, we are going to be good to go. So let's just make sure we have everything going. We're going to go to custom conversions real quick. And there we go. So I went over to another browser. I went over to an incognito window and I just had that fire off. So now what this is telling us is that conversion that we created, it's firing. So that's good to go. So if we go back, you see that I went to custom conversions and now we're active. If it's inactive, then your campaign will actually not run. So that's why it's important that we check that. Now we're going to go to the ads manager. Now is the fun part. So now we're stepping into the fourth strategy for the fourth item that you need to do with your Facebook conversion. So as a recap, create your Facebook pixel, install your Facebook pixel, create your custom conversion. We just did that. Now you run your actual conversion ad. That is the final step in the equation. So we're going to go over here. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be glad to address those. But we're going to go fast now because we have everything that we need. We're going to go to conversions. As you can see here, you can name them ahead of time, but I don't like doing that, so I'm not going to. I'm not going to worry about naming. We're going to go a little bit faster now. This is going to be a special ad category, so a housing ad. Does not comply with the requirements of special ad category, so that is fine. We're going to go to... All right, so let me just explain the rest of it. So right now, it just it saw that we're doing housing, And the reason it says that they don't comply, even though they didn't give us the opportunity to edit anything at the ad set, which is their fault, it doesn't matter. By the time that we create the campaign, it will. All right, so the rest of it, we're going to leave the same. No worries about A/B split testing. And then the campaign budget, I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. So the hard part, the heavy lifting is over. I'm more interested in you getting to this spot right here. And here we go. So custom conversion from this pixel. If we X out of that, you're going to see the conversion that we just created. So the YouTube live stream real conversion, this is what we just created. It's at this point that you have the rest of the way. Getting to this point is a hard part. Once you have that, the rest of it is almost the same as a traffic campaign. And so we're not going to spend the rest of our time going through that. I'd much rather address any questions that come up in our time together. But the hard part is out of the way. We created, well, we had a Facebook pixel. We installed a Facebook pixel. We created a custom conversion, and now we're running that conversion campaign. So at this point, you are going to select the conversion that you are wanting to optimize for. Don't worry about dynamic creative. Don't worry about the offer. As far as the custom audiences, we're not going to use any. Now, if you're going to run a campaign, let's just say you're going to run it in, where did we go last week? I think we were in Fort Worth. So this time we're going to go Dallas. So 15-mile radius, since you're in the special ad category. Age, we can't do anything with. And gender, we can't do anything with. You can do something with interest. So we're going to say they have a Zillow interest as a split test. So that would be one audience that I would split test. I would manually change the placement. So I would take off these right here. Boom, boom, boom. Take these out of here. I'm only going to leave the Facebook news feed. All right. And then we're going to go to next. Not going to worry about the name. That's something that you can do on your time. And then when it comes to the ads, you can go with any type of ad. As you can see, when it comes to the format, you can do the single image, you can do the video, carousel, collection. That doesn't change. And when it comes to the primary text, so Benson, to your point, when it comes to the ad, you would just select, if you're looking to get some sellers, then I would suggest that you go with a just sold ad. If you're looking to get some buyers, then I would suggest that you go with new construction or the just listed ad. So if you're interested in those ad copies, I'll link them down below so you have access to them. But when it comes to the ad copy, all you would have to do is put the ad copy here. You would select an image. So every ad that you run has to have an image and has to add an ad copy. And in this regard, when we're talking about a Facebook conversion, you do need to have the website URL. So pay close attention right here, because this is where we miss it a lot as well. Knowing the difference between the landing page and the thank you page is super important. So now that we've gone through the differences on why we selected this as a custom conversion, we're going to have to go back and get this URL right here so we can, let me make sure it actually works. All right, so just opt in is fine. We're going to come back here and get this URL as the landing page, because we're going to drive all of our traffic here. And that's where we're going to actually put our website URL. That's where the traffic is going to actually go. And if your Facebook pixel was not installed correctly, it would actually let you know that the Facebook pixel is not installed here. But in this case, we just actually did that. So that's not going to be an issue. You're going to scroll down, make sure that your Facebook pixel is on. And by default, since you're running a conversion ad, it has to be on, because you're trying to measure for that. So that's why you see it as defaulted there anyway. So there's no way that you can run the ad without the Facebook pixel from a conversion standpoint, because it won't let you. Then all you would have to do is press publish, and you have a fully functioning conversion ad. Now, if there's any questions, I would love to address them. If you have any questions, that was our time together. Let's see. Is there a way to go with one specific city only versus 15-mile radius? So based off of your channel, fitness, and mindset, so shout out. You may not be, if that's your channel and you're trying to drive traffic towards that type of channel or that type of business, You don't need to run an ad that has a special ad category, or it's not within the special ad category. The special ad category is only for housing, credit, employment, and political or social issues. So if you have those types of ads, then yes, you do have to run an ad in the special ad category. But to answer your question directly, which was, is there a way to go with one specific city only versus 15-mile radius? No, there is not a way. You would have to go with 15-mile radius. That's the only way around it. So yeah, 15-mile radius. And this is a cold audience. Remember, there's other ways for you to actually get an even more dialed in audience. I'll give you one quick example as we're getting here towards the dismount and give you some time to ask some more questions. One quick strategy that has worked effectively well. No, it's for my real estate. Awesome. One quick strategy that has worked incredibly well has been running some ads over on Google, and then going into a smaller area and then getting traffic that way. So getting people to actually click on your ad and have your Facebook pixel installed on that landing page, whatever you're driving, wherever you're driving the Google ad traffic to when it comes to a landing page, having your Facebook pixel installed there, so then you can turn back around on Facebook and retarget them. So that goes into, I think that was 3 weeks ago when we talked about retargeting. So I encourage you to check that out. But yeah, that's how I would circumvent the 15-mile radius. And that's actually how I do circumvent the 15-mile radius. But when it comes to a cold traffic, yes, you have to go with 15-mile radius. You can't go based off of a city. Something else that's super important with Facebook conversion ads, just in case you're just joining us, Facebook conversion ads, you do have to drive traffic to a website. So that's sometimes missed. So make sure that you don't miss that. It's the website that we're talking about. Don't confuse this with lead generation. Don't confuse this with messages. Don't confuse this with traffic objectives. This is the conversion ad. So as a recap, before we sign off, create your Facebook pixel, install your Facebook pixel, create your custom conversion, and then ultimately run your conversion ad, which is what you saw right now. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. The ad templates are linked down below. I'll link out some additional items that we talked about. But outside of that, every Monday, 9 a.m. Central, we will be here. Today was a special, today was something special happened. I had a little family emergency that I need to take care of. But God willing, that doesn't happen again ever. So that would be fantastic, but only God willing. So outside of that, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to see you in the next live stream, Mondays, 9 a.m. And just look out for the next thumbnails, the next events that I create when I go live. If you have any questions until then, feel free to reach out, and I'll see you next time.